Welcome to the 6-step method for staying clear no matter what. I am Lisa Natoli. I am so excited to get this party started. I see people coming into the room now, and I'm really excited. We have a lot of content to give to you today, and I'm going to give you the 6 steps that transformed my life. And I just want us to settle in here. People are still coming in, so I'm just going to give it a few more moments before we just dive right in. And this is about letting go of distractions. Stop getting distracted and falling back into old habits. So I don't want you to miss a thing. There's not going to be a recording or a replay, and we're going to be here for 90 minutes today. So I really just ask for everyone to stay present, stay focused. I don't want you to miss a thing. And this is 6-step method for staying clear no matter what. So as people are coming in and we're getting started, I'm going to ask for you to give yourself the gift of the whole 90 minutes and eliminate all distractions. So turn off Facebook, iTunes, any bells and whistles, silence your phone, close your door. And this is a gift that you're going to give to yourself. Good morning, everyone. I'm looking at the chat board. It is so good to see you all from around the world. And this morning is going to be very interactive. I'm going to be asking you questions, and they're very deliberate questions to help you to get unstuck. And I'm also going to ask you to have a journal and a pen ready. So I'm going to be giving you a lot of notes, and I have a slideshow here for you today. And the reason for that is I just have a lot of content that I want to give you. I feel like I'm a pilot right now, ready for takeoff. So fasten your seatbelts because we are in for an amazing trip today. And at the end of this 90 minutes, and I just want to tell you what's going on here, is I have some gifts and bonuses for you. So there's 2 things going on today. I'm going to give you 1 full hour of amazing content. I'm going to share with you my aha story that happened in 2012 of how my life changed completely. So it is my intention today that you hear my story and you make a decision that you are really going to be able to. I'm seeing I have no video. Who's writing me this? Can you guys see the slides here? Okay, I'm seeing the sound and video is great. Okay, very good. Just checking. It's important that we make sure we have a connection. That's actually going to be part of today's talk. Like often we're not really checking in with the space around us to make sure we have communication and there's a connection. And I think that's one of the reasons for disconnection is we're so focused on our own conflict thoughts that we're not paying attention to what's going on outside of us. So I'm going to give you the aha story, and I am also going to be giving you 6 steps. And for those of you who have been wanting to get into the Living in Purpose Mastery program, I ask for you to just stay right to the end because we're giving away a big bonus today with an opportunity for you to get into Living in Purpose risk-free. We want you to be able to check it out for 4 weeks. I'm going to talk about that at the end. And for those of you who stay all the way to the end, I'm going to be giving you a link for a checklist for the 6 steps for staying clear in your purpose. So you'll have a 1-sheet checklist that you can just use. And it's been so helpful to me. Every day I use this checklist, and I will be giving that to you whether you sign up for Living in Purpose or not. So my goal, as I said, is to give you everything today so that you walk away feeling inspired, uplifted, that you can begin to make changes now in your life. And so here's what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how your thoughts are creating your world, how to stop being a victim. I'm going to give you an action plan for staying in happiness and joy no matter what is happening around you. And you're going to find out what your triggers are and how not to let them distract you from your purpose. So as I said, this is going to be a very interactive 90 minutes. And I really want you to find out what's keeping you stuck. So if you want to experience unshakable peace, you are in the right place. If you've been studying A Course in Miracles for years, but you still feel confused, you're in the right place. If you feel distracted and know that you would benefit from structure and support, you're in the right place. If you love the 40-day program and you don't want it to end, you're in the right place. If you want to know totally and completely the truth of who you are in the right place. This is probably the number one thing I hear from people is they want to know totally and completely the truth of who they are, and they want to stay connected in that place. Let's see here. I'm seeing some people saying they don't see a picture. So just log out and come back in. And thank you, guys. And we have Linda Leland and Bill Free and Amy Starr Allen in the background on the chat board also. So thank you guys for being here. So you're in the right place. Wherever you are, you're in the right place. But the reality is, so you want all these things. You want to feel connected and uplifted and inspired. You want to feel supported. You want peace that's unshakable. You want to live a life of purpose. So we want these things, but what's the reality? You keep getting distracted. You feel stuck. So this is a big one. You know, we just feel like we can't move forward. You don't know where to start. How many of you guys feel that one? And here's a big one. You keep getting pulled into other people's stories. And also you get sucked in by your emotions. So if this is your reality, you are in the right place. So I want you to tell me in the chat board, what are your biggest distractions? I just want you to type in, and I'm looking at them. It's just a slideshow, and I'm going to be giving you just a lot of content today. So I thank you, Tony, for being here. I am live in the room, and it really is me. And thank you, Sunshine. Love that name. And so if you can just type in your biggest distraction. So we see family drama, anxiety and depression, procrastination, fear. Just type them in. Physical pain, stories and fear, responsibility for others, desire to believe, I don't believe I can do this, my job, other stories, my emotions, fatigue. So that's really great. I'm thanking you guys for looking into your mind. This is your biggest distractions. And electronics is a big one also. We get distracted by just all the noise outside of us. Identification, they're coming in fast now. Let's see. Caring too much about others and their emotions affecting me and worrying too much. Identification with body sensations, physical symptoms. Definitely others' drama and my job, disorganization, stuff that has to get done, other people's stuff, procrastination, guilt, I love this. Migraines, perfections, alcohol. So we see the whole list here. And I'm glad we're all together because we can begin to see that others' distractions are also our distractions. People pleasing, don't believe that I deserve, wanting to be perfect. I'm all over the place. I love it. Too much work, self-doubts. I think my life is too hard, fear of not supporting myself. So you are in the right place. And I'm grateful because you guys are really telling my story. And this is the place where we have to begin, that we really have to begin in this now moment. So no matter what you've posted on the board, this is our new beginning. This is where we're going to start. So I'm going to tell you a little story first. I'm going to do two things in this 1 hour. And I again ask you to have a pen and paper ready. I'm going to tell you my aha story. And I'm also going to give you the 6 steps. And I'm going to give you content within the 6 steps that I used to change my life completely. So we're going to go back to where I began. And my aha moment is actually in 2012, but I'm going to begin the story back in 1992. I was living in New York City and I made a decision. So that's what happened for me, but that didn't happen until 2012. So I'm going to get to that in a moment. We're going to start in New York. So this is a photo of Park Slope, Brooklyn. This is where I moved. I'm from New Hampshire. I moved to Park Slope, Brooklyn in 1991. I got a job in a publishing company. I beat out 800 people for a job as an assistant in a publishing company. And I found A Course in Miracles in 1992. I read Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love. I posted a picture of the newest version of A Course in Miracles that I love that just came out. But this isn't the book that I had back in 1992. So I had the blue book, and like many people, I had no idea what it meant. I was attending Course in Miracles groups, and I was really struggling. So I had this great job, but I was alcoholic, I was depressed, and I was buying self-help books. I was putting on a happy face for that job. And I felt that I was following the rules of the world to be successful, to be liked, to be loved, to be happy. I was in a relationship with a man that I absolutely loved. We lived together, so I was really using a lot of energy, trying to be the perfect girlfriend, make perfect meals. And I kept reading A Course in Miracles. And in the beginning, I didn't have people to talk with. This was back in 1992. And I didn't understand a word it said, but somehow deep in my heart, I knew that it was true. I really knew that the message in this book was true, that it says there's no order of difficulty in miracles. And I finally did find A Course in Miracles group. And basically, we just talked about it. I don't know. I just felt this isn't it. We're not here to use A Course in Miracles to fix our problems. But I'm very grateful for that group because it gave me a community. It gave me a place to be with others who were in the same place as I was, just really feeling there's more to life and not being able to connect with it. And in 2000, it was July 4th, 2000, Independence Day, I stood in my living room in Park Slope, Brooklyn, and I called out to God. I don't have a religious background. I didn't know anything about Jesus, but I felt that I had tried everything in the world to be happy and I couldn't find it. And so I just stood in my living room. There was no bells and whistles. It was just me in a moment when I stopped. And I said, God, if you're there, I just want to work for you now. And Still not much changed. So I had this dramatic big moment in my living room. But then after that, it was like that was a defining moment in my life where I was really saying, okay, I'm willing to change and go anywhere. And I'd heard about this academy in Wisconsin for A Course in Miracles. And I decided to go there for 30 days. And I'm going to show you the picture of my teacher. And I love this guy. Just look at his face. I get so happy. And they called this guy the master teacher of A Course in Miracles. And I went to Endeavor Academy for what was supposed to be 30 days. It was going to be a 30-day retreat. And I knew the second I got there that I was going to move there. And I ended up going back to New York and giving all my stuff away. I literally moved everything out. And I said, okay, I'm going all the way. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because I did external things, but still nothing much changed. So I stayed at the academy for 10 years and I traveled during that time. I went back to New York, a couple trips back. I moved and I went to Europe and I traveled around, but mostly that was my home base. And again, the reason I'm telling you the story is because so often we do these very big things. At the academy, we met for 6 days every single morning from 8:30 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. There was 250 of us there, all totally dedicated to love. I've got this brilliant teacher there. And I felt that I was totally dedicated. I really felt that my whole life is about listening and I'm here to serve. So why was I still depressed? Like I still was in fear. So I had done everything correctly on the outside, and yet I still was miserable. And I was up and down. I would have a moment of clarity and joy when I was with the group, but then I would lose my connection when I went off by myself. And so, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of these experiences now because I can see that I did all these big dramatic things, but it was all surface. I didn't change my mind. And that's what I really want for you to go away with today, is that this isn't about external change. This is about changing your mind. So I'm going to tell you just a kind of funny story here. I'm going to show you a picture, this next one. Something that I did is I used to beg to Jesus. I used to beg to Jesus and to God and to the Holy Spirit to please bring me peace. Please bring me joy. Just please, I'll do anything. I'll go anywhere. And I had this picture of Jesus, and I used to put this picture on my bed, and I would kneel in front of this picture every single day, pretty much morning and night. And I'm just going to show you this picture now. And it was this picture. So it was Sacred Heart Jesus. And I would just look into those eyes and I would just basically be pleading to have an experience. Like I had some sort of idea back then that if I could just look into his eyes deeply enough, that my body would dissolve, my pain would disappear. I actually thought that the picture was going to come alive. I used to think that this is funny, I'm just going to share it, but I used to think he was going to wink at me. I really thought that if I looked at the picture long enough, that he was going to come alive. And I used to just sit in front of this picture and I would say, talk to me. Why are you not talking to me? Like I'm here. I'm ready to do anything. And nothing was happening. And again, I would have moments of peace, just moments of tremendous joy and freedom. But then I would just keep falling back down into old habits. And that's why I wanted to offer this webinar today, the 6-step method for staying clear no matter what, because I think that this is a very big issue for many people of being distracted. Like, why do we keep getting pulled back into our emotions and our stories? And again, I'm telling this story because that experience I had for 10 years was amazing. I wouldn't change it for a thing. But it also did show me that the change was going to have to occur within me. So fast forward ahead, I ended up leaving the academy. The master teacher passed out of the body in May 2008. And I moved back to New Hampshire. And I'm still in a space of just dedication, really asking what am I to do here? What's my purpose? And I met this great guy, Bill Free, and I have a picture of him coming up. And we met in Boston in 2010, and we ended up falling in love and moving in together. And I had no money. I didn't know what I was going to do next with my life. I had 10 years worth of credit card debt that had been accumulating over the years. And I just kept thinking, okay, I need to pay bills. I need to live in this world. We need money in this world, right? And I was thinking I was going to become a waitress. And I wasn't teaching back then. I wasn't doing any of the things that I'm doing now. And I just thought, oh, I'll be a waitress. And I didn't really like that idea so much. I had done it in the past. And so then I thought I will become a Zumba instructor. So I have a little picture here for you. And there I am, all happy. And rose, I don't know where those roses came from. Bill loves to buy flowers. So he probably just brought them home one day. I'm drinking a smoothie there. And that's me in our Rochester, New Hampshire apartment. And I got certified to become a Zumba instructor because I wanted freedom. I really wanted to interact with people. And I did have an idea that it was going to bring in some money. And I used to put out this donation box. I was teaching classes 3 times a week. They weren't big classes. I think I saw Diane here in the room, and she used to come to my classes. If that's you, Diane, those classes were a blast. And there was about 20 or so people that were coming on a regular basis. But I was not bringing any money in from that donation box. I'd get a couple of dollars. The most I ever brought in during a class was $80, but typically it was $20. So I wasn't making a lot of money. But it was this time where I had my complete shift that changed my life. So it was in 2012, working as a Zumba instructor. And as you can see, I'm happy. I'm having a good time. But I knew A Course in Miracles is saying that if there's anything that seems lacking in your external world, it's only a block in your mind. And I was determined to figure out the money piece. Just like, why is it that I never have any money and 10 years worth of credit card debt? And so I made a decision in 2012 that I was going to live in a new way. And the next picture is Bill. Love this guy. And I told Bill, I said to Bill, okay, I'm going to live in a new way now. Like I've just know that I've had my foot in 2 worlds. I keep waiting for my life to change. This is 20 years now since I'd had the Course in Miracles. And I just said, that's it. I'm going to be 100% in. I'm going to change every routine of mine from now on. And I am going to live in a new way. And that's what I did. in 2012, and I'm putting Bill in here, because I totally adore the guy. But I think it's important that you have people that are going to support you on this journey to live in a new way. And I'm going to talk about this in these 6 steps, which I'm going to get to next. But I went in a moment. I literally made a decision in one moment in 2012 that is enough. Like, this experience that I'm having of continually waiting for my life to change. Like, I thought maybe like some money unexpectedly was just going to come out of nowhere, or something was going to happen. And I knew that it had to be a change in my mind. And that's, it's so interesting, because I was just waiting for something to change, even though I know that's not what the book says. And I just said to Bill, I'm going to show up in a new way now. And he's like, yes, perfect. Me too. And this is, look at us all here. Like, there's so many of us here, and what it means to have support, to really have support, and to feel the excitement of this. And so what happened is I literally stopped doing everything I was doing. And that's it. You're going to stop what you're doing here in this moment. This can be the greatest gift that you can give to yourself today. If you can just say, okay, whatever I have been doing before I got on this webinar today, I'm done. I am done. And who can do that? Who can really do that? Like, all those things that you wrote about 10, 15 minutes ago that were your distractions, can you just stop thinking about them, going there, just to stop what you're doing? And of course you can. Of course you can do that. So everything changes when you change your mind. Not when the external world changes, when you make a decision and you change your mind. And so I literally said, I'm done with doubt. And what happens is, over the years since then, it still sneaks in, it still creeps in. So I'm not saying that there's not doubt anymore, because there is, but it's like little threads now. I see them immediately. And I say, no, I'm not that person anymore. And what I did was, when I made a decision to live in a new way, I decided I was going to pay off that 10 years worth of credit card debt. I didn't know how, because I still didn't have any money, but I knew, okay, I'm an abundant, happy, generous person who lives in God, who lives in love. And this is how I live from now on. I have whole new practices. I created a new morning routine for myself. I was listening to the voice now. I wasn't waiting for the voice to speak. I was really acknowledging, okay, the voice is speaking to me now, and I'm listening and I'm following. And I called up my credit card company and I said, here I am. My apologies for being off the map for 10 years. Here's my address, my phone number, my email. I don't know how I'm going to pay this off, but I'm going to pay this off. And over the next 9 months, a lot of amazing changes happened in my life, because I was living in a new way, because I was showing up in a new way, and money started coming in. And in the past, I would hold on to money, or I would literally spend it. I would just get rid of it as fast as I could, because my story with money is it's bad. Like, spiritual people don't have money. That was my story. And so I would just try to get rid of it as fast as I could, and I didn't pay my bills, because I had a spiritual track running in my head that there is no world, I need do nothing. So I was using spiritual ideas to attack myself. And when I made a decision to show up in a new way, I am a person who is organized, who pays my bills on time, who's debt-free, and I paid off that credit card debt in 9 months. And this is what you want to see for yourself as an experience, directly. And so this is the 6 steps for staying clear in your purpose. And I'm just going to go right in. I'm going to give you the 6. And I'm going to ask you some questions that I really want you to engage with me on the board here. So step 1 is to take total 100% responsibility for what you see. So this is step 1, and there's a prayer in A Course in Miracles called a responsibility for sight. And this to me is the key. And what I have on this daily checklist, the 6 steps for staying clear in my purpose. If you stay to the very end, you'll get a beautiful printable document where you can print it out. And every day I use these 6 steps for staying clear in my purpose. And this prayer is on here. And often people think prayer is asking God for something. Like we beg and we say, I want more money, I want health, I want clarity. And we think that that's what prayer is. But there's many prayers in A Course in Miracles that you'll see are not an asking for something. It's an affirming the truth. So I am responsible for what I see. That's the first thing. I am responsible for what I see. And I think a lot of sincere Course in Miracles students and teachers botch this one up. They get this one wrong because they see darkness, they see sickness, they see pain, they see problems. And what they do is they use this prayer to make themselves guilty, and they think, I caused that problem, I caused my sickness, I caused my cancer. And they make themselves guilty for what they see, but that's not what this prayer means. I am responsible for what I see. So this morning I actually did this prayer. I sat in my journal. I'm just going to read you a few things that I wrote down. Because, at first, every time I do a webinar, I wake up and I feel a sense of dread at first. Like I feel like, oh, no, there'll be people there. And what if I screw up? And like it always is a feeling of being nervous every time to this day. But I'm responsible for what I see. So it's this quick switch in my mind where I come back into my purpose. I am responsible for what I see. So let's see here. I wrote this down this morning. So I see relaxation, abundance, flow, harmony. I see God everywhere, in everything, in everyone. I see only love because that is what I am. I see endless opportunities to give, to bless, to love, to inspire, uplift, support. I see everything going right. I see people's lives transformed. I see a lot of you taking this prayer. I wrote this down this morning. I was thinking about this webinar, and I see a lot of you taking this prayer, this responsibility for sight prayer, and using it every day and having your whole life change completely. I see you using it. I literally can see you printing out this PDF and using it every morning and changing the way you see the world. I see all of you springing alive. I see you in health. I see you in abundance. I see you in happiness and joy. I see that Jesus is here with us and he's helping us. And this is what it means. I am responsible for what I see. And so that's the first part. It's amazing, right? And you literally switch what you thought you were looking at. I'm responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience. So then I wrote, I choose joy, I choose gratitude, appreciation, and aliveness. And what I was thinking about this one is a lot of people think when they're in an experience of pain and difficulty and problems that they can't be happy. Like some people just say, just be happy. And people who are in pain think, no, I'm not happy. I can't pretend to be happy. And I really feel that if you can't just go into the vibration of joy, which is available to you, then choose a vibration that's a little bit closer that you could go into, like gratitude and appreciation. I choose the feelings I experience. I choose joy. I choose love. I choose uplifting. I choose aliveness. I choose being vibrant. I choose the feelings I experience. And I decide upon the goal I would achieve. And so what I wrote about that is I choose the goal I would achieve. So my goal for this webinar is that you who are here, I'm so grateful that you're here. My goal is that you hear something today that is going to change your life. That's my goal. My goal is that this is the day for you when you literally feel uplifted. You feel a new possibility for your life, even if you don't sign up for Living in Purpose. That's my goal. My goal is to give you everything so that you can really experience abundance and health, that you see what A Course in Miracles is really about, and that you see the blocks and the distractions that have been holding you back, and that you can make a decision to let them go. That's my goal for you. And everything that seems to happen to me, I asked for and received as I have asked. And so this is amazing. What are we asking for? We're asking to see the face of God in everyone. I'm receiving it as soon as I ask it. Everything that seems to happen to me. So we're no longer looking at the things that seem to be happening and using that to put ourselves back in blame and guilt again, which, as I said, many Course people do. We're recognizing everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked. So tell me, if you knew that your thoughts create your experience, would you guard your thoughts more closely? So I want you to post it in the comment area. Yes or no? If you knew that your thoughts create your experience, would you guard your thoughts more carefully? Yes, 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 yes. You would if you knew it. And this is the thing. Most of us just don't know it. Most of us, we read it in a book, a self-help book, A Course in Miracles. Your thoughts create your reality. I think everyone's heard it. We all know it, right? But we don't guard our thoughts closely. Yes, they're coming in fast and furious. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, guys. You absolutely would. And you would guard them like never before. You would be so alert to thoughts of pain and sickness. And what happens is, because of old habit, we think, no, I have to think about this. I really have no money. I really am in pain. I really do have this difficulty, and I need to just keep thinking about it. No, you would immediately switch and say, oh, okay, I don't want that experience of pain and problems and difficulties. I'm going to switch over to the truth. I am the light of the world. And so the next question is, if you knew that whatever you think or believe today is what you experience tomorrow, would you be more vigilant to watch your thoughts? Yes or no? So just type it in. All the thoughts you're having today. It's an amazing thing because, we hear these thoughts, I'm not a body. That's the truth. But in A Course in Miracles, it doesn't stop there. You have to switch over to I am vibrant. Look at the difference. I'm not a body. And that really, in a lot of people, causes them to just feel blah. Like, okay, I'm not a body. Blah, blah, blah. But when you switch over to I'm vibrant, like, you can really see that there's a step in your walk and your posture is you're standing tall and you have confidence. I love how Jesus tells Bill Thetford and Helen Schuckman in A Course in Miracles to have more confidence. Have more confidence that there is an intelligence and a power with you, working with you. And now you're going to learn how to work with this light. And you would begin to live from that place. How would you change? What would you do differently? So what happened for me in 2012? And this is why I wanted you to have pen and paper ready. I want you to keep using a journal. I really want you to continue doing this work. I want you to create a new template for yourself of how you're going to show up, the new habits that you're going to have. And it becomes very practical. You don't wait for you to feel different. What would you do differently? And so for me, I would pay my bills. That was one of them. I would have a new morning practice. I wouldn't wake up in the morning as I had been doing for all of those years and wishing I wasn't here or thinking about all that I have to do and how rushed I am and how unsupported I am and how nobody's listening. And that was my story for most of my life. What would I change? I would wake up in the morning in a different way. I would wake up and I would immediately go into a space of gratitude and availability. I would just say, Lord, here I am. And so this brings me to step 2. So you're going to make a decision to live in a new way. And this is just very important that you make this decision. So I want you to play it like a game. I want you to see it as an experiment. Just give yourself a space of time when you're going to be all in, totally all in. And I had been living waiting for events outside of me to change. I was waiting for money to come in. I was waiting for something. It was an amazing thing. And I recognized that most of my life that I was acting like a victim. It was really acting like a victim. Poor Lisa, poor me, boo-hoo. And I understood how Jesus says there's no order of difficulties and miracles, because in that moment, I made the decision that I was going to show up in a new way and I was going to live in a new way. It was immediate. I just said, I am already everything. I am the light of the world. And you're already the light of the world. You have everything. So Jesus tells us in A Course in Miracles that the only thing we need is the light that came with us from our native home. It's the only thing that Jesus had. It was how he was raising the sick and healing the dead and walking on water. And it's literally the only thing that we need, the light that we have. But we need to learn to use it, to work with it. We don't know how to work with it. We've been living using the body's eyes. So what's the new way? What's the new way that you want to experience? So we're gonna really look at it. And what have you got to lose? What have you got to lose by living in a new way? And again, it's going to be a game that you're going to play. So it's just like being a scientist. You're just testing it out and you're going 100% in now. So be all in. You cannot have one foot in two places. And I want you to just post on the board, how are you going to show up in a new way? Like for me, even to this day, I'm constantly playing this game. Like I noticed over the years, I spent a lot of time on Facebook. I was spending a lot of time on social media and hours would go by. Just hours would go by. I would think I'm checking on one thing and next thing you know, it's 3 hours later. So it's a decision to get off Facebook. Like that was one thing that I did, a new way of showing up here. And let's keep going here. So I want you to type in, are you going to keep living in the old way or are you ready to live in a new way? Just type it in. And now we're going to go into step 3. So we've made 2 big things. You're taking total responsibility for everything you see, everything you feel. You're choosing your emotions. You have decided to live in a new way. And this is where you have to find out the beliefs that are blocking. You can't just live in a new way and pretend that you're this happy, abundant person. You have to discover the hidden beliefs, the blocks that are blocking the light. And that's what we're going to do right now. And you're letting everyone else off the hook. So now it's all about you discovering your hidden beliefs. So it takes deliberate action and intention to uncover your hidden beliefs. So here are a couple. So a couple are, I have no money. I never have enough money. I need to work hard. Things are always a struggle. I'm afraid of blank. Sickness, death, intimacy. I'm alone. I'm unworthy. I'm a failure. So I want you to type in the comment area, what are some of your hidden beliefs? Just type them in. Let's see. Give up the distraction, take better care of the body so I don't focus on it. And I love that, because so often in spiritual groups, we just think, I don't have to take care of the body. I'm not a body. And a lot has been happening to me over the last couple of years where I'm just being so fully present. Like I'm not disconnecting anymore. I'm so centered that I'm taking care of the body now. I'm not feeling guilty for being in a body anymore, which I felt for 20 years. But it's just this total new way of living and feeling joy in the body, like feeling an aliveness. And let's see. So some of the hidden beliefs, I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough to give. And that's amazing because you have everything to give because of the light. Like we think that we only have external things to give, but we have so much to give. Just your presence alone in every situation. I have no money. I need more money. Money. Poor me. I'm a loser. My mind is not working the way I want it to. I'm not desirable or enough. I'm all alone in the world. I'm not good enough. And I'm alone. Like that's a big one. Like that's in A Course in Miracles, Jesus says that all problems and sickness is a belief in separation. We think we're alone. And yet we're not alone. We have a guide. There's an invisible presence with each and every one of us at all moments. And now then this is part of the game. This is part of the experiment. And this is why I love teaching so much, is because I want people to experience it directly. I want you to see that you are supported, that you have a guide with you. And that first step is to acknowledge that. And so you've been writing down your hidden beliefs and they have been running and ruining your life, right? All of these beliefs that you're writing down, they're not serving you, correct? And we're going to take your life to the next level if you want. We're going to go to step 4. So step 4 is forgiveness. Are you guys ready for the next slide? This is a good one. You're going to love it. Forgive everyone and everything. Who's ready for that? Forgive everyone and everything, including yourself. All in. This is a game we're playing, right? For however long you're going to do it for, you be all in. Forgive everyone and everything. And you think, oh no. Oh, I didn't know that this was coming in this webinar. But that's really what it is. It's a decision to live in a new way and to be the love that you are. And so holding on to your grievances is what is keeping you stuck. So I love that, because what it says in A Course in Miracles is my grievances hide the light of the world in me. So everything that you have for a life of abundance and vitality and joy and peace is within you as that light. but your grievances are hiding the light in you. It's in you. And all you have to do is start to notice the hidden beliefs and uncover them. Get yourself unstuck by releasing your own grievances. And I love the mind training of A Course in Miracles because it tells us to find the people we have problems with, to actually be specific. And how do I do that? I love that. I'm getting to that. How do we do that? That's a good one, because I think that's what everyone says. I don't know. How do we forgive everyone and everything? And we think it's hard, right? Yeah, I blame God. And to me, it's always just in this willingness, a little willingness. So you don't have to know how to do it, but that you have to have a willingness that you're going to forgive everyone and everything. So release the inner light. This is one of my favorite sentences from A Course in Miracles. Release the inner light. It's there. In many of us, it's just this little tiny spark, barely glowing. But release the inner light. And the way you release the inner light is becoming aware of your own hidden beliefs, your own false thoughts, and just letting them go. Those ideas of I'm weak, I'm alone. Release the inner light. So this doesn't happen overnight. You spent years building up a wall of defenses, stories, ways to protect yourself from getting hurt. So right here is where you begin. So I want you to just remember that this is just your starting point. Okay, we're going to start right here. This is where you begin. You don't have to know how to do it. You just have to have the willingness to do it. You don't have to get it right, but you do have to get it started. So this is now going to be your decision. Do you want to keep waiting for external situations to change and for people to change, or are you ready to change? You don't have to get it right. You do have to get it started. And this is one of the things for me I love. I always had some kind of a belief that I can't do something unless I know it's going to be perfect. And I let myself off the hook on that one. Like I just allow myself to make mistakes. Like I just say, okay, I'm just going to push the button. I'm going to show up in a new way. I'm going to express from my heart. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be me. It's going to be me, and I'm going to be free, and I'm going to be happy finally. So you can say that's enough of that. That's enough of that. That old way of living as a victim is as weak and powerless and sick, and all of the things that I was just living by. You say that's enough of that. Who can say that's enough of that? I want to hear you say that. You post that on the board. And I'm so grateful that you're all staying here. So here's a quote from A Course in Miracles. You can do anything you want in it. So he's talking about a desert. And Jesus is saying that a desert is a dry place. There's no water in it, and there's no life there. But you cannot change it from what it is. It still lacks water. This is why it is a desert. The thing to do with a desert is to leave. So I want you to think about the situations that you've been staying in, hoping there's going to be life there. You can't do anything there. You just have to walk away. This is why Jesus, 2,000 years ago, said to his disciples, follow me. He got out of the 40 days, and that's most of you are done with the 40 days now. And he literally went from out of his 40-day experience down to the fishermen. And he said, who's coming? Follow me. Drop your nets, follow me. And many people will not do that because they have other things that they're doing, other things that are already on the schedule. And he says, no time to go back and tell other people, you have to come now. And the reason for that is that the mind is very clever, and it wants to keep holding on to a bit of control, just a little bit of control where you can still think that you're in charge. But Jesus says, we're leaving now. Who's coming? And 12 said yes. 12 out of who knows how many said yes. And so this is a bold decision that you're going to have to make. Are you ready to leave behind all your stories, all your habits, all your routines, and follow the love and let it lead the way? I get all excited. So this is a journey. It gets easier. I have 2 more steps that I'm going to give you. And I hope you're having a good time with this. And I hope this is helpful. I really am just so happy to be expressing this. And I wanted to say there is no recording or replay here, but we do put the recordings and the replays into the Living in Purpose program. So it is over there. So step 5 is listening and working with your inner guide. This is a big one. So we've gone through forgiveness now, and forgiveness clears your mind. It really just allows a space where you can begin to hear this presence and this power and this intelligence that has always been with you, but which you have not been acknowledging because you were focusing on the wall of beliefs and stories and grievances. And so now what you're doing is you're allowing your judgments to be seen and to be laid aside. When you're thinking about the past or you're thinking about the future, you can't hear the voice for God. And this does require you showing up in a new way. So now you're allowing the space to be clear. And guess who's clearing it? You are. You're clearing it. You're saying, okay, wow, I have the power to watch my thoughts, to watch how I'm feeling. And you say, this is my time. This is my year. I'm all in. I love this quote too. If you knew who walks beside you on the way that you have chosen, fear would be impossible. If you knew that there was a presence. And for me, this really started when I've never seen Jesus. Jesus never winked at me in that photo. He's never showed up. We have never physically seen him, but I know him. He is with me. And what I started to do is I just started working with him. I said, okay, Jesus, I don't see you, but I'm told you're here. And I'm told that you're going to go before me and you're going to show me where to go and what to say and what not to say and what to do. And I just started to work as if we were just working together. You know, he's a friend. He's walking with me. And what I have discovered about Jesus, he loves to surprise people. He loves it. He is the biggest show off ever. And he loves to surprise people. He loves giving gifts. And you start to say, okay, this is weird. Like, seriously, am I really listening to these words? But I want you to see this for yourself. I want you to see what happens to your life when you know you're not alone and you're all in and and I work with Mary Magdalene also. These are the 2 I have chosen. They didn't come to me. I didn't have a dream about it. I didn't hear a voice about it. I chose it. I said, Jesus is the one for me. He never showed up. He never ever had him appear to me. I know some people, see angels and they think, oh, this is the guide that came to me and this is the name. That didn't happen for me. I chose Jesus. I chose Mary and I work with them. And this is what I want for you. I want you to see this for yourself. So I spent years depending on myself. And what was I doing? I was controlling, efforting, trying, striving, worrying, feeling alone, feeling helpless. And I needed a daily practice to include moments of listening, which eventually turned into a habit on listening on a regular basis. So make yourself available and learn to work with this inner light. See for yourself how much you are supported, guided, and loved. I want you to think about the times you had support and how valuable that's been for you. You cannot see your inner guide. It's invisible, but you begin to see the results of acknowledging this guide when you listen follow, and trust. You want results, right? I love this part because so often in spiritual groups, it's all just talk, talk, talk. Like we get really good at knowing the language, and nobody really wants to admit that you really do want results, right? You'd like to see money flowing in. You'd like to be able to do the things you want to do and have that kind of freedom and have vitality and health. I want results. And it was a big, dirty secret for me for a long time because I'm known as a spiritual teacher. And when I said I want results, I just felt like, oh my God, everybody's going to think I'm worldly. Everybody's going to attack me. But this was my own private thoughts. I really felt I would like results. I would like to see my physical world change. And that was a bold move for me to make. And that's why I wanted to put it in a slide, because you want results, correct? Who wants some results in here? So we're going to go to step 6. And this is devotion. You know, you're going to find a spiritual practice for living in purpose. And to me, this is just one of the most important ones because you need that devotion. You really need to have a dedication. Jesus says every day should be devoted to miracles. I love what Bill Free said. I'm just going to read it here. He said about devotion. He said, in my mind, this 6th step is the most important that you could possibly use. It's also required. Until you make a full 100% dedication and give yourself fully in devotion to the truth, you'll be blocking the truth with what you thought you were. You'll be blocking the truth with littleness and egoic separate ideas and the things that make us suffer for our whole life until we make a decision. So this is step 6. You're going to be finding a meditation practice, a listening practice. And I could not have done this without people holding me to the mark. So back in 2012, it was Bill. I had Bill reminding me of my commitment and my decision to live in a new way. Now I have a whole community, a Living in Purpose, a 40-day program. There's just so much support. And the secret to massive results is to keep remembering what you want. I want peace. I want to remember who I am. I want joy. I want to live in service. I want to be available. I want to work with this light. So you're going to schedule your day in such a way that you keep your goal in mind as your number one priority. I want to keep that connection with God every single moment. I want to live in joy. So type in your number one priority. You want to see it on the board. So you need commitment, action, deliberate intention. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move into some testimonies. And I'm also going to, this is a part where I really ask for you to stay. I ask for you to stay for the whole thing. I'm still going to be giving some content. I'm going to tell you some amazing stories from individuals who have moved from the 40-day program into Living in Purpose. I'm going to put an offer up here on the board. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that offer in a moment. And it's available until the end of this webinar. And we're offering Living in Purpose at a very big discount it's like, I think it's over $500 off the price. And I'm going to get to that in a moment, but I just wanted to put the button up in case you want to look at it and begin to really say, I'm stepping in. I'm going to come in and I'm going to do this. And we also offer, I'm going to talk about this in a moment, is a 30-day money-back guarantee. All you have to do is show us that you did the work. So the 30-day money back is important because we want you to see what's in Living in Purpose. We want you to get behind the scenes. We want you to see what's there. But you need to do the work. It only works. You're only going to get results if you do these practices. So if you sign up for Living in Purpose and you think you're going to be asking for your money back, do everything that's in Living in Purpose and keep track of it. Like if you actually forgive everyone and everything and you do that practice, and it doesn't work, you're definitely going to get your money back. You definitely, if you have a listening practice and it's not working for you, we're definitely going to give your money back because we know that it works. And so we're just going to put this up here. I'm just going to talk about some great, amazing stories. This first one is Sherry Miller. And I just love this lady. She had no money. She literally had no money. She was in jail. She came from an alcoholic path. She was a drug addict. She was afraid to take Living in Purpose. And I've heard her story. It's so beautiful. And she said, I literally had no money. I literally didn't have a credit card. I couldn't, there's no way I could sign up for this. And she was remembering what I had said, that God needs you. She kept remembering that. Like she said, Lisa said, God needs you. And she started saying out loud that she was a minister and that she was the light of the world and that she was going to take Living in Purpose. And she told people about it. She told her family. She told people in meetings. And she really believed that it was going to happen. And then she said it did happen, just like that there was money that came in and it's changed her whole life. She said it's worth everything. She talks about one of the practices that we give in Living in Purpose. And we have what's called an I'm done with it box. So a lot of people talk about a God box. And what we have in Living in Purpose is called an I'm done with it box. So we invite you to get a box, and what you're going to do is, instead of complaining, instead of criticizing, you write it down and you put it in this box. I'm done with complaining. I'm done with criticizing. And Sherry says that this was the most amazing practice. It changed her life. I started really being done with complaining and being done with conflict, being done with being miserable and being done with worrying. Whenever I catch myself doing those things, I re-up with the I'm done with it box. Some days I have written down 1,000 I'm done with it. So I have a big box full of I'm done with it. And she talks about her morning practice, that she has a listening practice now. All of her debt dissolved. She's learned to love herself. She says, if I knew it was going to be this good, I should have never spent a moment worrying about tomorrow. So that's Sherry Miller. And the next one we have is more subtles. Hold on a second. We missed Joan. Gorgeous Joan de Groot. And Joan's from Germany. I met her in Denmark. And she says, a year ago, I finished the 40-day program, and I wanted to continue this incredible growth process with the Living in Purpose program. I just didn't know how. No money, no way. And this is the biggest thing we hear from almost everyone. I don't have the money. And the thing I always want people to look at is, if this was free, would you take it? If Living in Purpose was totally free, would you take it? And almost always the answer is, oh my God, totally, definitely. So I want you to look at them. Okay, so look at the block of I have no money. That's a hidden belief. It's running the show. It's driving the bus. And that's the beauty of looking at our hidden beliefs. And every single person who's taken Living in Purpose, and you'll see when you get in there, all the money problems and the thoughts and the beliefs just disappear. They started to be in the flow. So she said, it was so strong in my heart. With a friend's help, I made it happen. The Living in Purpose program changed my life. It deepened my relationship with Jesus Christ, and it made my life's purpose absolutely clear to me. I can truly and wholeheartedly say now that I am happy all the time. I love how deep the weekly videos go, and I got so much support from the private Facebook group. I just love it. So the other thing I wanted to say is that you are in for life with this program. So it's set up like a program that's a big experiment for you. It is so much support. And it's not like a gym membership where you just keep getting charged for the rest of your life. Like once you're in, you're in. And you get, I'm going to talk about what you get in that program, but it's 2 live calls a month. You get a prayer partner if you want. You get all the support. We're there in the Facebook group. There's a live Facebook group. It's very active and vibrant. And it is a party over there. And so the next one is Morris. Morris Suttles. Love this guy. He's from New York. New York out in the country. He often talks about how he's out in the middle of nowhere. And I also want to say to you guys on the board, I'm going to open it up for some questions also. I'm going to give you a support email address at the end here also. So just whatever questions you have, just post them on the board. And we definitely will be answering them. You're going to meet all these people. These are like everybody who I'm showing you a photo of. If you're on Facebook, these are real people. He says, I feel like a completely different person than I was 6 months ago. What a transformation. I feel so empowered. I have been diligently practicing a laser beam focus, and what a difference in my level of peace. For years, I sought spiritual peace, but I realized I was still engaging in old practices. I was always stuck in the same place emotionally. Not anymore. I love you. And what I love is that on these calls, we have 2 live calls a month, and you get to hear from everybody. Like I love the engagement. I love the interaction. They're audio calls, and it's just great to hear everybody's practice. And the Facebook group especially, I mean, it really is amazing. Like the 40-day program, I really encourage everyone to not tell any stories in there, but the Living in Purpose is different. It really is a totally different space where I want people to share. I really want people to feel that they are not alone, and that everyone's living in this same way of working with this inner light. This next one we have is Bill DeTellis. Love Bill. This guy. He is a house on fire. He lives in Massachusetts. He said, I heard about Living in the Purpose program and thought, let's give it a try. It was the best decision I've ever made in my life. I am fully committed to the program, and I can honestly say that I am where I want to be, and I am happy. Do yourself the biggest favor you will ever give yourself, and when you have finished your 40-day program, sign up for Living in Purpose. It's worth every penny. I love you all. I love how everyone says, I love you all. Oh, and this next one, that's so funny. The next one coming also says worth every penny. Gorgeous Rebecca Johnson in the house. She says, I wanted more. I had just done the 40-day, and when it was over, I felt like something was missing. I was on the fence about Living in Purpose, and it turns out it changed my life. Now I have lifetime access, and it's phenomenal, worth every penny. I love Becky. She just did a great class with me in the Friday morning group. And all of those videos are on the Teachers of God website. It's just amazing for people to start to come into their true, authentic self and speak from their heart and not try to be spiritual about things. So, Living in Purpose. So first I want to ask, why did you show up today? I want you to just post it in the board. Why did you show up today? And I love this next one here. Somebody actually wrote this in, and I took this and turned it into a quote. Somebody said that they felt that they were capable of more peace and happiness, and they felt that time was running out, and they wanted to start wavering. And we have Linda and Bill and Amy are in the room. And so if you have questions, just put them in. I see Diane. Thank you so much for this quote. Living in Purpose definitely works. For anyone interested in dropping their stories, removing addiction, giving up fear, transforming all relationships, and having a happy life, It will be the best decision you've ever made. I also love the new real friends. They are real friends or real people that we get to know at LIP. And I'm pretty sure there's a link here in the comment area to click on it if you would like to sign up. And I'm going to talk about that. So this is the question that came in earlier. This all sounds good, but how do I make it all work? I want this more than anything, but what specifically do I do? Most people want the quick fix, but honestly, has that ever worked for you? This is not an overnight thing. You make a decision and you start taking the steps. So you've got two options: the hard way, doing it alone, which is complicated and confusing, or the easy way, step-by-step direction and guidance with easy to follow instruction. And you literally have a private trainer in here. This is what Living in Purpose is. It's a mastery program. And what happens when you have a private trainer? It gets you quickly back on track. It keeps you motivated. It holds you to the mark when you've forgotten. And the best of all, have coaches, the best of the best. And that's what you're going to get here. So if you're planning on going down a new path, don't you want someone who knows the way, who has already gone and knows the route and can show you the places you might have fallen over on your own? I know I do. I mean, I'm constantly hiring coaches and mentors and trainers. And it's, I don't know, I love having people who have already done the work and who can show me the shortcuts. So Living in Purpose, this is what it looks like on your computer. It shows up on all kinds of electronics. And it's a mastery program. It's an intensive mastery program for spiritual transformation, living from your highest potential. And here's what you'll get. So you get 24 weeks, 6 months of training videos with messages, with practices to apply to your life now. You get 24 weeks, which is 6 months of prosperity and purpose messages. These are all of the things I did in 2012. I took every practice that I did to transform my relationship with money and abundance, and I put it in Living in Purpose. It is nowhere else. You cannot get prosperity and purpose anywhere else. It's only in Living in Purpose. You also get ACIM 365, which is a 1-year audio program from me to complete the workbook lessons of A Course in Miracles. So when we first developed Living in Purpose, it was just a 6-month mastery program. And now we've took the time frame off it because now we've added the 1-year program. And it's really a lifetime program. And you have access to these videos all the time. You can take it at the speed you want. You have 2 monthly live calls every month. One of the calls is with me and Bill, and one of the other calls is with Linda Leland and Kimberly Cartwright. You get a prayer partner if you want one. So that's amazing. You'll be matched up with a perfect prayer partner for you who will hold you to your commitment and walk with you every step of the way. And you have lifetime access. And there's that Facebook group, and it really is a total game changer. And each month has a new module that all builds upon each other for transformation. So the first month is trust. Second month is forgiveness. Third month is healing. Fourth month is resting in God. Fifth month is renouncing fear in all its forms. And month 6 is being a light in this world. I love this one because it's not just what you will get. What are you going to bring to the table? And this is a really you starting to give back. So what you will create, a life of certainty and unshakable peace, a sense of joy that affects everyone around you, and best friend status with your inner guide. I love that one. And all these bonuses. So we have the ACIM 365, prosperity and purpose. You're going to get the daily checklist, no matter if you sign up or not. We're going to give you the link in a few moments for this, for staying clear in your purpose. and huge discount off the cost of it. So it's normally $1,447. You get it for $975 if you sign up today by the end of this webinar. And there's also a 6 payment plan for 6 months or a 12-month payment plan. So as you can see, it's totally affordable. And here is the link, teachersofgod.org fast action bonus. And I believe that there is a link in here. And I'm going to tell you the next part you're going to love. 30-day guarantee money back. And I love this because we want you to get in there. We want you to see what it's all about. And this is a real money back guarantee. Now, here's the thing. You do need to do the work. You need to show us that you have done the work. We're not going to question you. We're not going to say, well, you didn't do it right. We're going to just have you show us that you have done the work. Because if you do the work in this program, I guarantee you, again, guarantee it, you will see massive results and massive changes. And so we're going to give you 30 days. You get 4 weeks to go in there to really experience living in purpose, to get into the Facebook group. And if you do the full coursework and no change occurs for you, just submit your work within 30 days of the purchase. Show us that you did the exercises, and we will promptly refund your money. So you need to really show us that you did it. You can't just get in and say, I don't want this. I don't feel like it anymore. Like, please do not sign up for Living in Purpose if you don't think you're going to do the work. And it's definitely not for you. If you're just curious, please do not sign up. But if you really want to have a change in your life and you want to do the practices, get on in. Just get on in. And then, like I said, if you have a little inkling that you're going to ask for your money back, please keep a journal. Please write down all these practices and what you did and what happens. And if you do what it says, I will be very, very surprised if change does not occur for you. But if it does not, you get all your money back. So how to register. So you're just going to click that button and boom, you're in. You're into the program, and you have only a little bit more time to get in there at this price. So just click that button. And I'm going to take some questions here also. Here's the member area. That's what it looks like inside. And right here. So just click the buy button on this page. And what I'm going to do now is, I'm just thanking you guys for staying here. I'm going to give you the link for the 6 steps for staying clear in my purpose, the daily checklist. It is teachersofgod.org/stay clear. And I'm just going to ask if you can post that, Amy, into the chat board. And I'm just very grateful. I'm just very grateful for you for being here. And, you know, I see someone says, I don't have the $95 for signing up now. And I totally get that. I didn't have $1 to my name back when I started in 2012. And, you know, this program is offered at different times. These particular bonuses So it really is a decision that you are going to make for beginning and going forward with this. Thank you so much, Daniel. And, this is the place, Daniel says, you bring such hope that we can make the shift to live in joy. Thank you. And everybody can make this shift. Like, everyone really has this opportunity. And I can only speak with such certainty because I know that it's true because of what has happened to me. Like, it really is that you must change your mind. And when you change your mind, the whole world changes. You don't wait for external. And so, let's see. I thank you guys for being here. It says, okay, so we do have some more time that you can sign up. The sign up is for 30 minutes. And the Living in Purpose sign up page is teachersofgod.org/fast action bonus. There is a link right there in the comment area. Just click on that link. And I'd like to just ask if there's any questions about Living in Purpose. One of the things that you can do is you see a support. You can email linda@teachersofgod.org. And if you have any questions, if you feel like you really want to sign up for this and I'm ready, but I have some questions, just please reach out. You can either do so on the board here or sending Linda an email. Let me see. And there's the checklist, teachersofgod.org/stay clear. And I just really look forward to seeing you there. Andrea, what was your question? Let's see. And I love this kind of an attitude too. Thank you, Elizabeth. Just knowing this is what happened with Sherry. Like, she knew she was going to take it. In that moment, she didn't have any money to take it, but she knew she was going to take it. And she started talking to her family and friends. And this is also what Joan DeGroot did. Like, we hear this a lot. We hear people really saying, I want to. Oh my God, I so want to sign up right now. I literally don't have a dime to my name. And to me, that's the most exciting place, is where you just know that you're in. You're in. And let's see. I'm getting an email here. Okay. There's a support email right down there, linda@teachersofgod.org. And the link to the PDF. I'm back. So sorry about that. I lost my connection. The link to the PDF to the daily checklist is teachersofgod.org/stay clear. Stay clear. You can easily remember that. Just stay clear, and you'll love this. It's got the 6 steps that I went through today. And as I said, we post these replays and recordings in Living in Purpose. So if you would like to watch it again, that's where we post all of the videos and the recordings. And I'm just so grateful, just really, that this Course in Miracles is true, that you are the light of the world. This light can heal anything. It will show you the way. You have a guide. There is nothing to fear. And this is your new beginning. This is it. And I really thank you with all my heart for showing up. If you have any questions at all, please send us an email. And we do look forward to you just coming on. This link will stay up for another 30 minutes. And it's an incredible way for you to start to experience all that you've been asking for, all the things that you have been wanting. So let me just go back here for those of you guys who want to get in. Let's see. This is the sign up link. Right there. teachersofgod.org fast action bonus. So I thank you with all my heart. Sunshine is on board. Yay, I'll see you over there. And we'll be getting you guys into the Facebook group. I'll see you over there in a minute. I love you.